I'd like to welcome everyone to the special meeting of President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will County, Illinois, held on Thursday, August 15, 2014, beginning at 4:35 p.m. Will everyone please stand for a pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Brennan?
Present.
Trustee Mahoney?
Present.
Trustee Mueller is absent. Trustee Shaw?
Present.
Trustee Sullivan is absent. President Glatz.
Present. Thank you, everybody, for coming for the special board meeting. We'll be quick. Item number one, can I have a motion to consider approval of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number two, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2024-R-100, authorizing a certain advisory referendum question regarding whether the Village of Tinley Park shall pass a resolution urging the state of Illinois to pass legislation that requires the state of Illinois to increase state funding for public schools that results in lower property taxes and reduces tax burden on local property owners and taxpayers, specifically those in South Suburban Cook County, to be placed on the ballot to be voted on at the general election to be held on November 5th, 2024, for the Village of Tinley Park, counties of Cook and Will, state of Illinois.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you. The resolution authorizes an advisory referendum question to be placed on the ballot for the general election to be held on November 5th, 2024. This resolution urges the state of Illinois to pass legislation that requires the state to properly fund public schools that results in lower property tax bills and reduces the tax burden on local property owners and taxpayers. This resolution is eligible for adoption. Are there any comments from the board on item number two?
Great idea.
Yeah, I think, it's no secret that Illinois is one of the highest tax states in the nation, and I think putting this before our state legislatures is a good idea. We have, I think, the highest motor fuel tax. These taxes can be more evenly distributed to help ease the burden of all Illinoisans, especially some here in the south suburbs that have been hit the hardest regarding our recent property tax bills. Neighboring states and have much lower tax bills than us, and we do have quality schools, but that's due to obviously the taxes on the local level. So I'd like to absolutely see this in front of the state legislature. So that's all I got.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, not to belabor this very much, I wholeheartedly support it. Ordinarily, I don't think I would feel that it's necessary for us to be advocating for a non-binding referendum, but I think in this particular case, having spent time with a lot of local property tax payers at the recent seminar and our time at the train station earlier, and just hearing all the stories and seeing the pain in people's faces, I think this is critically important that we pass this, we put it in front of the voters, and send a message. Yes, it's non-binding, but I still think it's important for the public to make their voice heard. I think that in some respects, we're on the verge of a tax revolt, and I think it's critically important for the public and the tax-paying citizens to make their voices heard. So I'm in favor. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? I would just like to thank a couple people that brought this to our attention, that we should put this on the agenda. I'm going to save most of my comments for next week, Tuesday. For the board members that aren't here, I asked the clerk's office to place this on the agenda just as a discussion item, in case you, so they could have a chance to speak. And then I'll save more of my comments for there. But I'd like to thank the SSMMA and Mayor Polk and Mayor Wells, who came up with this idea to put this on the agenda for the lack of funding for the schools, which puts most of the burden on the taxpayers. And most importantly, dear good friend of mine, who unfortunately used to work for one of the legislators, but due to filing a lawsuit and getting paid by the state, Cassandra Matz no longer works for that senator. So I want to thank Cassandra and Mario Reed for bringing that to our attention on the imbalance of school funding. So big thank you to Attorney Reed and Attorney Matz. I'm sorry, not Attorney Matz, but Cassandra Matz. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item 3, receive comments from staff. Any comments from staff? Item 4, receive comments from the board. Anyone from the board like to comment?
Nope.
Item 5, receive comments from the public. Would anyone from the public care to address item number 2 for this special board meeting? Let the record reflect there are none. Madam Clerk, can we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for adjournment. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Shaw?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone.